Alright, where's my bucket?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Hello?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
You can have some input. I must have misremembered. I was pretty sure there was a bucket. Strange. Well, it's going to be difficult to get the right ending now without the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't think I've gone into the maintenance area myself. Now escape? Ah. We send the bucket to space and then we send ourselves to space to finally be back with our bucket. I mean, I haven't been feeling right at all since I lost sight of it.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
They could have both fit in that pod. Yeah, the Jack could have fit on the door ending. Stepping out of his manager's office, Stanley went and rescued his own soul. I do like the general kind of feeling that the narrator is completely disconnected, detached from you at this point, has lost track of you. Can't go back through the other one, though. Just looking at that pedestal makes me feel wistful for some reason. Interesting. 427 is not open this time. Maybe they are trying to funnel me down this path again. Specifically. You are now leaving. I mean... It makes sense, he's expecting you to be in the boss's office. Whilst true, we also know that the narrator enjoys like a god's eye kind of view of everything that's going on. So it's entirely possible as well that he just knows, right? Like... I wonder if we'll open the door and the bucket will still be there waiting for us. There's space in there. I'm certain. All I need to do is wear the bucket as a hat, and then we can easily both fit in. Intended gameplay, the folding ideas clip. Surely the devs saw that. I would not be surprised at all. Like, more than enough, like, Dan Olsen works incredibly hard. Obviously, take as much time as you need to get your next project out. Especially after the overwhelming nature of the line goes up and the results thereafter. But at the same time, man, I can't wait. Ugh. I'm actually seriously considering getting a nebula with all of the things that I actually like. Almost, I want to say 75% of the stuff that I watch on YouTube is on Nebula faster and more directly supports the people that created it. So I could end up skewing hard that way, I think. Although I don't know if Dan is actually associated with Nebula. What happened? Anyone see what just happened there? The narrator has forsaken us. Stanley
decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Oh, never mind. There's a replacement bucket. Everything's good with the world
again. And try not to lose this one too, you dolt.
What? I didn't lose it. It went to space. It fulfilled its dream.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Lose it? Go crazy?
Still no one was here.
Send this one to space too, immediately.
Now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alrighty then.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of... The bucket did not react. Except perhaps... But Stanley guessed...
Okay, so this is the same bucket, as it turns out. Not a replacement.
Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
So now we must return to the room with all the cameras and monitors. I think that then might be all of them. In which case, it would be Stackland's time.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
They did indeed.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below.
Clumsy
Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
Commonly.
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility.
I did forget it was up there.
He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was unconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
That's an excellent metaphor for life. I mean, much of this game is. Okay. And that reloads us. Intriguing. There's another ending I can think of related to setting the time. So launching the game yet again. I mean, we can do that. We can do that right now, in fact. Let's jump back to desktop, and I'll relaunch. And we can set our favorite time, which for me is... Man, what is my favorite time? I've been getting up at 5:30 a.m. like every day recently, and it's been quite serene in a way that I don't usually experience. 5:30 a.m. could be it. 333, obviously, if we wanted to give a little bit of an homage to the number 3. Okay, 333 I think could work. Specifically because I think the game's probably not going to, reference my time in the morning that I wake up, but it might reference something the game has said before. Kind of you to say, Engineering Cubed. There is the classic 420 as well. I mean, we could also do that. Or, actually, I think it's more likely they respond to this. Let's do 427. Ah, 4:27 p.m., your favorite time of day. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious to find out how accurate 4:27 p.m. is. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 4:27 p.m.? Okay, so let's set up our parameters here. It is currently in my time, 10:49 a.m. Okay. So 10:50, let's say. In fact, let's even say 11. Which means we are 5 hours and 30 minutes away from this time, roughly. 5 hours and 30 minutes as a portion of the day. So maximum amount of time we could be away from it is 12, right? Because you get up to a maximum of 12 hours away and then it starts decreasing until you get back to the original time. So that makes this just slightly under as inaccurate as possible. It's difficult to be more inaccurate. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I'm feeling like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders. But we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather some new data for you. Shouldn't be too hard. Let's whip up a couple of ones. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Okay. I'm more than ready for it. Developed by Crows. Written by Davey Reedon. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. The thing is, I always air high on this because of the gamma reduction for the... So I'm going to say that. Please adjust the slider until the dog and cat are friends, okay? Oh. Okay. I think they're most friendly like that. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. Okay, that's a smiley face. Document. Hand sign. Flag. The number 9. Filing cabinet. Airplane. Computer, bell, number 9, phone, B, bicycle ambulance, number 9. I'm pretty sure it's this one they want. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. Okay, so still adjusting. Still adjusting it by now. Okay. Still adjusting by... There we go. Which of the two made-up words below is most appealing to you? Occuboinkle or scrumtish? Occuboinkle, 100% occuboinkle. Well, maybe 90% occuboinkle. I've got some percent of belief in scrumtish, but occuboinkle is... I just feel like it fills a lexical gap. Please don't adjust the slider. I know how to do it. Do you know what time it is right now? Absolutely. Is it the time that it is right now the correct time? Yeah, sure. Why not? What time is it anyway? Sure. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yep. Help. How can I help, actually? Will you come back to visit me? Can we do Zooms? I don't really like in-person. Well, I said no, unfortunately. But I should come back. I mean, they asked, right? Even though I said no at the time, I recognize the duty, almost imperative to being asked to return there. What time is it? 10:45 a.m. Does anyone really, truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do. It's like a day job to me. And now the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you I can. I still don't really know you, and you don't know me. Yet. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. I'm being a bit scrumptious. Please, it's my occupying residency that has trained me to do this. But if I'm being totally honest, the clock doesn't actually do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time. And that's okay. Video games are meant to be played alone. Aren't they, chat? Aren't they just being meant to play alone? Anyway, Vidavo, thank you very much for the subscription. Enjoy modes and chat, and welcome back to the Republic. You like being alone, don't you? Yeah, I spend a lot of time alone. That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, it's time for me to leave. There is still one more setting we need to adjust, but it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. It's not really in my job description, but that's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. We have a new option in Epilogue. Should I be selecting this, or should I be relaunching again? I almost do want to relaunch. The Epilogue has the line. It has the line. Adventure line. Capital A, capital L, T, M. If we only could have told him it was 3:33. I really thought he would have responded to our employee number, actually. There's 2 more endings in the game if you want to go for those first. Are they new endings, or are they endings that were in the original game? If they were in the original game, were they updated? Because I think we are definitely rounding around home stretch here. They're new. I see. And I'm assuming this epilogue is now permanently unlocked?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427.
I will actually skip this time. So the other 2 endings I can think of are going to the bottom of the hole without the bucket, and going back up the elevator without the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
So
Stanley decided to go to
are
the
those
meeting
new
room.
endings entirely in this? Like, you couldn't do those in the previous version? Because I was treating this like there were just the base endings that we did in the original Stanley Parable, and then those with buckets. They're entirely new. Okay, so you couldn't have clipped out of bounds previously without it. Neat. Excellent, and thank you. So without, both of these are without the bucket. Let's go.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I wonder, Upon whom will I impress the importance of 3? It
Yet
used to
there
be a
was not
bug,
a
but now it's an
single person
ending.
here
That's
either.
exactly the tone of
Feeling
this
a
game. That
wave
makes
of
sense.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm really glad that's something they encountered. Or accounted for, rather. Wait, hang on. That's the exit. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
2, 8,
indication
4,
of any human life.
5.
Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Please.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated,
Legitimately
Stanley
actually feeling a little bit
calmly walked
soothed.
forward into the opened passageway.
I'm certainly more relaxed. A bit Phil Collins, yeah, a bit kind of... What's the vibe I'm looking for? Like synth spectral?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
What about that 3, though?
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out.
I have not, Sammy. That is a creepy observer.
Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have. An incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm
I really
bolted
appreciate
to
it.
the edge of my seat.
You and I each, because I've got the 3s over here to click for mass satisfaction. Nothing else? 2, 8, 4, 5s, maybe? Well, hang on. Something I can interact with on this desk, apparently. No? Where is that? There's the desk drawer, which we can attempt to interact with at the absolute least. Door open? I mean, I guess we can go back down and then back up again. 2, 4... Wait, no, it's not 2, 4, 5, 8. 2, 8, 4, 5? Not even the correct code will do anything here. 1, 3, 3, 7. Piano sounds exactly like a keyboard. So as I was saying, some sort of spectral synth kind of situation.
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No.
Of course not.
It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
I think it might actually be the boss's office? I mean, that makes the most sense. It's what it's been every other time.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office.
No.
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right. I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
What we have discovered here is an alternate universe. First, I thought of this as being the exact same room from which we had descended 2 times before and visited 3 times before total. However, this keypad, you see this digit here? I feel nothing towards it. This button does not excite me. This is an imposter 3. Yes, you were almost enough to fool me. This decoy universe. But no emotional attachment to that 3, I'm onto you.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator.
Not but a hint of
How did I not anticipate it? I mean,
absolute
sure, now it's
zero.
obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
We did it. See, they'll expect it all of these other times, but they won't expect it when we know that they know that we think they're expecting that we expect that they're expecting.
I just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment.
Yep.
Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator, but the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know,
More time to
Stanley,
enjoy it.
it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life.
Can I tell them about
I know
3?
You're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh good, we're here.
We can finally tell them about 3.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
World peace, baby. Everything else we've seen prior?
Here it is, just through this door.
No problem.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you.
I'm legitimately getting hyped off of the the narration here. Oh. These heretics didn't want to hear about 3. But everyone is ready for the new narrative. Very well. This is the sound of beginning to have a panic attack on stage. Is that what happened? Is this what it feels like every time you stream? It depends on what game I'm playing as to whether or not it feels like that or the bucket version of that ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Check on the whiteboard here forces the whiteboard ending. Oh, checking the whiteboard in the... I think I know what you mean. So I have one other. And it's going to be the leap
when
without.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
so we need to get back to the mind control room, where otherwise we would be able to set up a light with the bucket at the bottom of the hole.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
And confidently strode forward.
I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
I love that line. That's one of my favorite lines from the original game. Quelle surprise. Jonk, a helpful guide for this stream, has said there might be another ending.
Through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
There might be another ending I don't know about, but I wouldn't know about it. Well said. Hang on. Oh, there we go. We have successfully tripped.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Panic at the Disco track, that.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
Okay, now that it's repeating that.
Good job, you did it.
This reminds me exactly of the end of You Have to Burn the Rope.
You did it. Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
It almost feels like it's trying to evoke exactly that. You burned the rope and saved us all. You know, You Have to Burn the Rope. If you don't know what You Have to Burn the Rope is, this is a Flash game that was extremely quick and short, and it was titled You Have to Burn the Rope. You burn the rope, and then it has a credits ending song that is longer than the game itself, extolling the virtue of your work. Now that we've done that, I believe it is time for us to quit the desktop and see if maybe we get to encounter the time-setting minigame again. That is one of my favorites. After which we have the epilogue to launch into. Ah, dang. Even if I go into settings, bump Scott. Whoa, the bump Scott is way too low. Thank you. Get that back up to 1,000.